Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you? Today is another book haul video, and honestly, I might have gone crazy. So I got these books again from Abe Books, and I'll link them down below. And also, a bookstore near me is closing, and they were closing before the pandemic. They're looking for a buyer, but everything is deeply discounted right now. So when a couple weeks after everything already opened, I went safely in there and found some good stuff. And then also, this is a thrift store edition book haul, and I've found a lot of books at my local thrift stores as well. So getting right into it, I'll start with, I guess, a bookstore. So new to me books. So the first 4 books I found, these are really good finds too, is His Majesty's Dragon. These are the Tamamore, I'm probably mispronouncing that, Tamamore series, and this is a alternate history series where it takes place in the Napoleonic Wars, but with dragons. So very exciting. And I found 1, 2, and 4 and 5. So I'm only missing 3. If I find book 3, I get to read all 5 of these. And I hear these are really good. And also, I'm craving dragons. I need to read Rage Dragons, but yeah, I'm craving dragons. And the next book I'm kind of dreading is Gardens of the Moon by Steven Erikson. This is a Malazan book of the Fallen. This is part of the Malazan series, which I've heard is kind of frustrating to read, but I was on Daniel's channel. I commented when he talked about like before you should read or something like that of this series. I said, oh, is this like Gravity's Rainbow, a fantasy? And somebody replied back to me and was like, oh no, this is Dick and Jane compared to Gravity's Rainbow. So as long as when I hear difficulty levels of books, I'm always thinking of Gravity's Rainbow, because that book is really difficult to get through, and I've only read it once and I need to reread it, but yeah, so he said no, so I'm going to read this because of that recommendation. The next 2 books I picked up are Darcy Coates books, and it's The Fullcraft Ghost and The Haunting of the Gillespie House. And this is an author, I've been reading on Kindle a lot. These are just spooky stories of a house, and they're quite formulaic. And I found these at the bookstore, so I was very excited to get these, and I've never owned any of her physical books. But yeah, I've been reading a lot of these actually. So these are guilty pleasures of mine. I love these. And I am so excited for the next book. I picked up Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Ames, and I am really excited to read this. I will be reading this in August, and I'm just so excited because I keep hearing awesome stuff. So this is about a gang of mercenaries, and there's some magic, I believe, but basically they have to reunite to save a band member's daughter, and it's done in it's just like a homage to fantasy, but in the way of like a classic rock band. So very exciting. And yeah, I heard this is just really, really good. This book is Dread Nation Rise Up by Justina Ireland. And I actually got this recommendation from Amanda the Naughty Librarian. She talked about this in her book haul. So this is an alternate history about during the Civil War, right after the Battle of Gettysburg, the dead started to rise up. So they're zombies, and so they kind of held off the Civil War, but instead passed an act where they sent everybody to school. Well, not everybody, just the black people to school to learn how to fight zombies, and basically to be like sold to defend plantations. So it's kind of like the continuation of slavery in a way, but giving them more stuff to do, I feel like. Well, that's what I'm getting from the synopsis of this, but I'm so excited. I love this cover, and this is a YA book, but I just love, look, this is bloody. Like, this is right up my alley. Yes. The next book I picked up because I don't know if you guys care because of why I pick up these books, but this book is referenced a lot in the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, which, you know, I loved that book. So I had to get it, and it's Anne Rule's The Stranger Beside Me. And I actually didn't know this, but Anne Rule writes a bunch of true crime stuff, and she's written some other books. But this is about Ted Bundy. So I am excited to read this, and this looks so dense. And true crime books work me up. Like, I have never noticed how worked up I get reading true crime. Like, I just get like physically angry, like severely angry. Like, I want to throw the book across the room just because of like the evil, I guess, that's recorded in them. Next book I picked up is The Truth by Nick Cutter because everybody who likes horror always talks about this. It's about a camping trip. Boys go camping and some stuff goes down. I think it's like a parasite or a bug or something infects people, and it's like a zombie thing but under your skin. I've heard it's body horror at its best. So right up my alley. And the next book is one of my Book of the Month books, and that is Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moraine Garcia. And this is about a woman who gets a letter from her cousin, I think it's her cousin, pretty much asking her to come help her. Her fiance, or her new husband, is trying to kill her, is what she said. So she goes to this remote estate, and this is like a gothic horror thing. I have been hearing kind of mixed reviews, but overall everything is really positive, and I'm excited to read this because it just looks gorgeous. I've been kind of like holding off. I really want to read it. I know Murphy's read it, and Gabby Reeves read it, and I'm just like, ugh, I want you guys to like them picking up books really fast makes me want to pick it up, but I'm like, I'm gonna hold off and I'm gonna stick to my TBR because I'm a loser like that. And the next book I picked up from Book of the Month is The Shadows and Alex North by Alex North, and this is like a Bloody Mary urban legend book, I believe. I might be totally wrong on that. I actually don't really remember too much about it. I just know it's a thriller, and the cover looks really cool, so it was my add-on this month. That's it. So the next book I found is The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton, and it's based off of a true story that happens in New Zealand gold mines. A wealthy man has vanished, a prostitute has tried to end her life, and an enormous fortune has been discovered in the home of a luckless drunk. Moody is soon drawn into a mystery, a network of fates and fortunes that is as complex and exquisitely ornate as the night sky. And I just loved this cover, so honestly I picked this up because of the cover. Because look at that, the phases of the moon, and it's a girl. How cute. And then of course I had to get book 13 of Wheel of Time, Towers of Midnight, and I am so psyched to get into this. And this cover is awesome. There's Perrin, he's rocking his hammer and it's on fire. Oh, so epic, so epic, great, yes. The next two books, these are mangas that I picked up, were Sailor Moon mangas. I picked this up for Elliot Brooks her buddy read at the end of this month for this, and also I've been meaning to read some Sailor Moon manga because it is just gorgeous. It's just beautiful. Beautiful. And I picked up this little one too, and I actually already read this, and it is very cute. It is very cute and fun. But the next books I'm going to talk about are my thrift store book haul, and the first one is The Ember Queen, and this is the third book in the Princess of Ash trilogy. I actually don't know. The Princess of Ashes is dead. Okay, so kind of, is that a spoiler? I don't know. So I haven't read the whole synopsis of this because I don't want to be spoiled, because I do plan on reading this series one day. in the future. And then the next book is Terry Pratchett's Guards, and I think this is about a dragon who like takes over a town and they have to fight him because he's arrogant and he's a bad king or something. But yeah, I know Murphy read this on her channel and she said it was really funny, but I don't know if she even finished it or not. I don't know. I found this in the little box, so I got it for free and I was like, okay, cool. And the next book I found is the Karen Slaughter Pieces of Her, which Karen Slaughter wrote Pretty Girls. I think it's Pretty Girls. So this is coming to Netflix soon. This is probably already on Netflix. This is a thriller about a daughter and a mother like shopping in a mall or something, and there's like a shooting and her mom reacts very like controlled, I guess. She isn't freaking out, and so she's like, Mom, why were you freaking out? And her mom is like, oh, I have like a crazy history. So something like along those lines. And the next book I found is Running with His Scissors by Augustin Burroughs, and this is kind of a biography of a boy, a coming of age story growing up with his mother who is an artist. Yeah, I think that's it. I've watched the movie a couple years ago and I was like, ooh, I should read the book. Because I need to read more biographies. That's what I need. And the next book I found is a nonfiction book, In the Garden of Beast, by Eric Larson, Love, Terror, and an American Family in Hitler's Berlin. So yes, this is about the beginning of World War II with the American ambassador stuck in Berlin, and it is all about that. And I am excited. I've read his White City, A Devil in the White City, so I trust this author as a nonfiction author. And I just couldn't help myself. I found this at my thrift store, and it's The Drawing of the Three by Stephen King. Do I have this? Yes. Do I already have 2 copies of this? Yes. Do I have this copy? No. And it is just awesome. If you don't know, this is book 2 of the Dark Tower series, which is his epic fantasy series. So I just love this cover. It has all the doors on it. The book I found is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, and this is a kid's book. And again, I saw Murphy talk about this, and I saw it, and I picked it up, and I'll read it because I know she liked it, and then I'll gift it to my nephew or my niece or a little kid. The next book I found was John Green's Looking for Alaska, and I've never read this, but I know it's about kids going to a writing camp or something, because I did watch like the first 10 minutes of the Hulu show made off of this book, and I had to turn it off because I started crying like immediately because the soundtrack is my high school. So yeah, it got a little too intense for this, so hopefully the book is less intense than the show. And the next book I found was the collection of H.P. Lovecraft, or the Call of Cthulhu and other stories by him. This is just a really nice edition. I believe I have something similar to this, but it's not in this great of edition, and I really like the art on this as well, and it's just one of those standard like Barnes & Noble classics books. And then the next book is Kristen Hanna's The Great Alone that I found, and I like this cover a lot. And I've never read her, but I hear people talk about her a ton. Like, I know I need to read The Nightingale. And this is about a family that moves to Alaska in the 70s, but the father, I don't want to say he was abusive, I think he's an alcoholic, but the family's basically forced to move to the middle of nowhere because of him. And it sounds interesting, it sounds intense, so I picked it up. It's really big too. The next 4 books are all Lisa Jewell books that I found. So I guess starting with this is about, if you don't know Lisa Jewell, these are all like family thrillers. This is about a woman who finds a man on a beach, but she might know the man, I believe. The Girls in the Garden. This is about something bad happening in a suburb where she has to protect the girls. I think I might be getting these synopses totally wrong. And this is about a family upstairs. I know Paperback Dreams, her dad, Kat's dad, like read this and talked about it, so I can't, when I see this when I see this title is all I can like think of the synopsis of it. But yes, and then she was gone, and this is about a missing girl. So these might all be at the thrift stores for some reason or not. So I'm going to attempt to read these, and I might like her actually. I don't know. I like this cover though. I think this cover's cool. And the next book I found is the first book of the Warrior series, Into the Wild, which is very exciting because I have 2 and 3 already, so I can read 3 of these. I don't know if I would go any further than that, and then I'll probably gift these to my niece or nephew too. Next books are Mindy Kaplan autobiographies. I like her from The Office, and I also know she did like her own show where she was a doctor, and I watched a couple of seasons of that as well. So I found these and I was like, oh, I need to read more autobiographies, so I will check these out. And the next book I found is Percy Jackson and the Olympians by Rick Riordan. And this is book 1, and all I really know, I know there's a movie of this and I haven't seen it either. All I know about these is that this is like a Greek world, or like the Greek gods still exist, but Zeus's lightning bolt is missing, and this kid is suspected of having it. That's what I got from it. So this is a middle grade book, and sometimes you just need a middle grade book break. Palette cleanser is the word. The next book I found is actually really cool. It's a really old book, and it's Alfred Hitchcock Presents A Month of Mystery, and this was his book of the month before book of the month book club books that they sent out. Stephen King had a similar program too, which those editions are really cool. And I just thought this looked really neat, and if it's Alfred Hitchcock stuff, then yeah, it's probably really cool to like little mystery stories or something. And I don't know what the heck this is. Ashes to Ashes. What? I don't know what that is. That's an advertisement in there. And the next book I found, I'm actually really excited about too, is Joyce Carol Oates' What I Lived For. And I'm going to read the back of this because it is so crazy. Jerome Corcoran, a money-juggling wheeler-dealer, rising political, popular man's man, and successful womanizer. It is a Memorial Day weekend, and we are about to live with him, breathe with him, and sweat with him. In a non-stop marathon of mounting desperation, he tries to keep his financial empire from unraveling, his love life from shredding, and his rebellious daughter from destroying both herself and him. And it goes on like that. So I was like, oh, cool. And I've only read one other Joyce Carol Oates book, and that was Zombie, then her novella about Jeffrey Dahmer. So I've never read anything big by her, so I'm kind of excited to read that. So those are all the books that I hauled this month, and it is a lot. It is a lot, and hopefully next month won't be so crazy. Oh, and for the giveaway, I'm going to give away the Sailor Moon manga with a bookmark that I crocheted. Actually, I will throw in a couple of these little bookmarks. They're really easy. I like how simple they are, and they just lay like that, and that's super fancy. So the first person to DM me over on my Instagram will win, and then I'll just chat with you about shipping arrangements. But yeah, that was my book haul this month. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Let me know what you're intrigued to read, and be sure to give a thumbs up to this video and comment, and also subscribe so you can see me read all of these awesome books. Have a great day. Bye.